In terms of viewership, Andor totally belongs with Kenobi and Book of Boba Fett. If you think Disney and our IP are doing well, why did Iger extend?
Yeah, I mean, Disney's not doing well. Like, I don't know how. Like, I'm sure there are some people that don't see it, but like at this point,
He
like,
cut how many? He cut 6 billion? What? No, 10 billion? What's he cutting?
so he was trying to get to 7, I think, was the number. And fired a bunch of people. You know what I mean? Like,
He's
I don't
cutting
know,
back on
man.
Marvel. He's cutting back on Star Wars.
Yeah, they're cutting back. I know, right? This
Like-
is going to be so awesome, dude. It's a whole clusterfuck right now. 'Cause
Cool
it's like-
management.
I know,
Great
right?
job.
Like things are so shitty, and they're like literally. This is what they're gonna do. Theory. This and by the way, I think people are still gonna put up with it because I think one thing that Elon Musk is sort of proving right now is that consumers, dude, lazy as fuck, not gonna actually like do anything about it. Here's what's gonna happen. They're going to start spending less on these shows and they're going to start charging you more.
I know.
Literally.
I know.
They're all going to do it. All of them.
I know.
Netflix, HBO Max,
I know.
Peacock, all of them. They're literally going to do it.
Just
Watch for 10% price raises every year for the next 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Watch that shit.
Yep.
And they're gonna spend less, dude.
Yep.
The shows are gonna get shittier if you can believe it.
Uh-huh.
So Writer Strike is a good, but 95% of them are worthless. Yeah, it's kind of a weird spot for us to be in, right?
Dude.
No, like real talk. Let's talk about this for a second.
Oh!
I got a lot of empathy for the big corporations, doing you do, but are we talking about like Joby Heralds? Like, are we talking about the Joby Heralds? Because like
he got overpaid.
How is that? Yeah, like overpaid, bro.
There's so many talented writers in Hollywood that are getting shafted. And I support the strike, man. I support their right to strike for money that they deserve.
Yeah.
These executives just sit in their chairs and are like, King of the castle, king of the castle.
I know, right? Bob Iger.
You do this.
He's got a new super yacht being built, and he's like in some fucking vineyard in like Washington State, and he's like, "Yeah, I think the writers are being unrealistic." It's like, dude, what are you talking?
Oh yeah, fucking
Bob Iger.
Iger, yeah. They just don't understand business and how the industry works.
I don't understand it. Have you seen my vineyard?
Bob, you don't fucking understand Disney and Star Wars, dude. You goof. Why don't you wake the fuck up? Maybe you won't have to slash $9 billion.
Yeah,
God damn it! Why don't you? How about you just? Oh my god, dude, he fucking pisses me off so much with his stupid autobiography and how he literally was Darth Sidious to George Lucas. Closes down Disney, invites George down to a lunch. They're having a sweet old lunch, and he just tells sweet old George. So George, what happens to Lucasfilm when you're gone? You're getting up there in age, and
getting up there, you're gonna die, George. You look.
You don't
like
have
shit.
any heirs. He literally said, "You don't have any heirs."
I know.
What happens to it?
What a dingus, bro.
Fuck.
What
and
a
then
dingus.
you want to take his treatments. You want to take his episode 7, 8, 9 that he was already making. This is people don't know this. He was already making the sequel trilogy. Here was already that story was already going. It was already done. It was takes the treatments, buys them, fucking shelves them so nobody can touch them. Now it's under Disney IP. You can't fucking touch any of them.
Yeah. Well, I think one of the biggest parts of that too was that he bought the scripts before the deal was done. So what that means is George signed that deal under the impression that they were going to make his shit.
Yeah.
And then they were like, nah, fam.
Yeah.
But like the other thing, he just did this shit the other day too. He came out and said he was like dogging on Marvel for the Disney Plus shows. And like, I'm sitting there listening to this guy say, Marvel Studios is a great example of, they had never done television before and they waited in there and they did way too much of it and all that. And I'm sitting there thinking like, bro,
who led
that was your idea, Bob. You created
idea.
Disney Plus. Like, you're the one. You think Kevin Feige like was crushing it with the MCU and then just randomly decided, what would be cool? Fucking like television. No way, bro. No way. No how. That was you, Bob. Like, he's trying to act like this shit wasn't his idea. It's crazy, dude. This dude is like the ultimate joker. I feel like we're in a very mask off time right now where like the mask is coming off for like a lot of different people. And like, I like Elon Musk, but like you can't explain to me what's going on with X and Twitter right now. It is stupid. It is just ultimately stupid. And there's a lot of that going around. A lot of stupid going around, Theory, you know? And these are people that, like, for the longest time we put on some kind of pedestal. We were like, no, like these dudes clearly have it figured out. $1 billion equals smart, competent person, you know, like, and it's like all that shit is falling by the wayside. I think we're getting a real clear look at what's really going on.
Yeah, the masks are starting to melt off now, and
Yeah.
they're being exposed, man. Look, you don't take a $9 billion slash to your company if everything's all good and dandy. You know if you were the one in charge, then shouldn't you have avoided this? Like,
Yeah, you would think, right? Like,
you're literally the CEO.
bro,
Like, what are you pointing fingers at other people for?
it's
You
mind
fucking
blowing,
kidding
dude.
me?
Like,
It's
dude,
like that's like a parent pointing fingers at their child. It's like, it's a child. You're supposed to
know.
correct them and make sure they don't do stupid shit and teach
Yeah.
them. Like, what kind of a parent are you? What kind of a CEO are you? You ran this
You
shit
know.
into the ground and you just got your contract renewed?
Dude, it's so crazy.
You are
And
the
then
reason that Star Wars is in the state that it's in.
100%. Dude,
Him and
he's the
Kathleen
reason
Kennedy
it's
need to
all
just take their millions and they need to just go on a nice vacation and enjoy the rest of their days.
Yeah.
And all the best to them, but kindly fuck off. You
yeah,
have
100%.
a job with the most
I
important
mean, dude,
IP on the face of the earth.
like Disney and the way they've navigated like the past 5 or 6 years has been truly something special to watch. It's like a special kind of incompetence. Like
Yeah.
it kind of reminds me of like the funny stories of like how dictatorships would fall apart, where like there was so much like fear and paranoia and elitism that they had the stupidest things going on all over these big nation states, and there was no checks and balances. It's all just like ego and blind belief, and that's
Yeah.
like kind of what Disney did, and it like really eroded the dude, like I don't even know what their way out of this is. I mean, they're a massive company. They'll probably weather the storm and, you know, bring in some fresh people and like turn around ideas. And within a decade, maybe they could have all of that brand strength back. And it's argued like how much they've even lost, right? But Bob Iger used to be thought of as like this genius. And I think, like, again, like now looking back at it, it just really looks like that's not the case. He bought all of these different companies. He never really like built much out of Disney itself. And then if you look at where all of these different things that he bought are at now, they're almost all in a much worse state, not only in their ability to make money in the box office, but in their ability to make money in the parks, if their ability to make money in merchandising, in licensing. It's like every single revenue by which they would make money off of this stuff is lessening, you know, and it's dripping dry, and it's crazy.
Yeah. I hope we're gonna see some change.
And then the dude comes back out of retirement, makes 27 million in 2 years, and then gets a contract extension more. It's like, dude, it's crazy. Like, how can that happen? You know what I mean? Like, how can that guy come back? The guy
It's
that
all
made all
rigged,
the problems,
Josh. The
he
whole
did all.
The whole
He's the
system's
one that
rigged.
fucked it up. He's the one that fucked it up. Tried to make an early exit. He's the one that literally picked Chapek to be his successor.
These people have power beyond what we even can fathom.
It is so crazy, dude.
Yeah, we're just open for
This
good
is
Star
why
Wars,
George, dude, this is why George didn't want anything to do with corporations. This is
Oh, he hated
why
Hollywood.
he never took Lucasfilm public. Like Wall Street and Hollywood, two sides of the nation that are both just
Corrupt.
destroying pretty much the rest of us. You know, it's so gross.
I know.